And now we are on the Facebook Live. We will just wait for the hour to get 3 p.m. And then we will start. Of course, in the meanwhile, I will just try to find this presentation. But I would like to greet you first, you all the presenters. We are such an, I believe, such a nice and committed group. And also welcome all the participants that are eagerly wait for the conference start. So welcome. Please write us in the chat on the Facebook. How are you feeling? Where are you from? Which country are you coming? And what are you doing right now? So please share. And I also have one question for you presenters. I would really like to know from all of you, what is the most inspiring thing for you in working with people? So because you all are teachers, just Marjeta is a facilitator, but again, she works with people every day. So this is the common thing we have. We work with people every day. What's the most exciting thing for you in working with people? Leena.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely networking. Like, I just love getting people together, and people who didn't know each other before and whom I think that they would go well together, and then getting them meet and then seeing when things start to happen. And that's the best thing ever. That's what I love.
Networking, yeah. And I also saw in your presentation that you like creating new environment.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Right. So, who would like to be next?
Leena was saying that all about energy is the interaction with the rest of the people. Well, I would complete saying that I like the energy that I receive when I interact with other people. So this is why I love working with students, and this is why I love training teachers as well, because I truly believe that we grow if we help each other. We grow if we exchange ideas and good practice examples as we do today. And I couldn't imagine my life without networking, without learning from amazing educators, and without having the energy from my students each day in the classroom.
Yeah, you receive the energy and you also give a lot of energy. It's so nice to hear from all of you what's the most inspiring. So who would be next?
I can continue. For me, the most important thing is when I work with the pupils, and I find new ways how to help them, because there are always pupils who have difficulties to learn and so on. So I try to think of different ways how could they learn that topic what we are learning. So what could be the tools or different ways, and when I find solutions for those pupils, it's very nice, and it gives me a lot of energy and boost.
So we can always be innovative in working with people, finding ways and building bridges with them. All right, so Monica or Marjeta?
I can go, Marjeta. So for me, what's the most exciting is that being with other people is entering such an unknown space, because we all each bring such different ideas, perspectives, backgrounds, you know, so you kind of think it's going to be very linear and I know what's going to happen, but actually it's not. It's a mystery, and we are changed by the encounters with others, you know, like I come to my edges as I meet the edges of the others and I expand my landscape with new horizons. That's for me.
So it's almost like traveling.
Expanding, yeah, exactly.
All right. And Monica?
So the question is, what excites me the most? Sorry, I was...
About people, yeah, about working with people.
Ah, okay. I think that what excites me the most is actually building together some new ideas, being creative, exchanging things, because always when you work with others, they give you new perspectives. And I think that's very important for everyone.
Right, okay. So yeah, also people are greeting us. They are from different countries. I see Montenegro, Croatia, Turkey, Romania, Spain, and North Macedonia, Serbia, so Portugal, Greece, so from Sweden, Finland, from all the different parts in Europe. Welcome everybody in the 7th Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. I am so proud that this time we are streaming on Facebook. And you know why we are streaming? We are streaming because our conference, our Zoom conference during those months just don't have enough space anymore. So that's why we had to find alternative ways to enable all the people who would like to learn and listen best practice from other teachers' colleagues to enable them to watch the conference and participate in the conference. So I'm proud and I hope that everything will work fine. It's a wonderful program again that we will have in next 90 minutes. So together we are, you see us all, so together we are Marjeta Novak, nice, welcome. She will have a keynote and then 3 best practice presentations are followed. Firstly, will join us Leena with our AR application 3D Bear in foreign language. Then Heini will follow with teaching and learning also foreign languages. And in the end, we will listen to Marika with digital education through eTwinning and Erasmus projects. So the common thread today in the 7th Pan-European Conference actually is language. So language, different words, bridges among people. It's really nice to have this topic. Usually you ask us about the certificates of attendance. You can see that in the description of the video, there is a link in which you can get the certificate of the attendance of this conference. And also our co-worker, Monica, will put it probably in the chat. Okay, and so once again, nice to meet you, to host you all. And we will start because our program is rich and we are really eager to give you everything we know. Not everything we know, but some parts of it. So those of you who were at our 6th Pan-European Conference a month ago, maybe you remember that in that time our keynote was about Socratic dialogue. And I'm so happy that today we are actually upgrading this presentation, because today with us is Marjeta Novak, who is a dialogue catalyst, she likes to say. And her presentation will be about questions. So what questions? Because there are questions and there are questions, and Marjeta is really good at designing inspiring questions, which opens new opportunities and new possibilities. She will share her knowledge with us. She will show us the meaning of different questions and how we design possibilities for ourselves and for our students when asking ourselves different questions. So Marjeta, welcome. I'm really grateful for your presentation. People will ask you questions in the chat, so welcome asking questions in the chat while you are listening, because as you know, we learn much better when we are asking ourselves questions. So Marjeta, welcome.
Thank you, Blanca. Yeah, I have been working for something like 15 years with different groups, including teachers, but actually from various works of life and work. And I have just found through my experience how powerful the questions that we are asking ourselves and others are. It can be questions that I ask myself early in the morning in my own head, or then in the interactions with others. So like in the morning, if you just ask yourself in your own mind right now, what is perhaps the question that you wake up with, especially in this interesting, challenging COVID times, is it something about what's the best that can happen today? Or is it something that's very opposite to this, or very much in between? And today's session is going to be explorative and a little bit experiential as well. So at some points, I'm going to invite you to try a few things and apply it to your context. So you're really all super welcome. And the way we are going to do that, we are now on multiple channels. There is Zoom, there is Facebook. So I really trust we will be able to dance with technology quite well. So I'm now going to start sharing my screen here for a couple of inlets to get us started. And this will be screen share. So, okay, a second. In all these moments when there are tech transitions, I really invite us all to just take a deep breath and recenter, which is already one of the first invitations for today. And I'll go to, let's be friendly with technology. Then join in. You're welcome to use the power of community to contribute your reflections on Facebook. I will not be able to monitor them all right now, but at the end, there will be time also for your questions. And also there will be moments to bring interaction with all of you together. And this is actually how we are going to start now. So I invite you to join in to Mentimeter that will show up very soon on your either telephone screen or computer. And one of the way is, if you want to join in on a mobile phone, you just scan the code that you see now, or Monica, our wonderful tech help, is going to post in the Facebook chat the direct link on your computer to Mentimeter. And I'm trusting you will find a way now, either through one or the other device, to join in. And the first question is going to be really quite simple. And this is just, you're invited to write down, where is your home? No, just individually, where is your home? In any way that this speaks to you.
Some people are writing locations like Spain and Bucharest. We can understand this question in a different way also. For instance, my home is where the people are, the people that I connect with them very well. And where is your home, Marjeta?
You're answers, Blanca. I want to just hold space for others now. I will say it in the end. And I so enjoy just seeing what is coming alive here, you know, from Macedonia, Portugal, Italy, Turkey, my family, town center, Tuscany, Zagreb, etc. And we'll give a couple of more seconds. This is also a wonderful moment to just land here also with the technology. And then very soon I will ask another question, which will again be on Mentimeter. And actually there is a possibility to offer more than one answer because, you know, questions that are perhaps more broad or more intriguing often have more than one answer. So you're also welcome to think beyond the first answer that came to your mind. And yeah, where my heart is sounds also quite powerful. Europe connecting us. Thank you so much for this first breaker or welcome to everyone who is here. And now with this, I will go to a second question very soon, which is a slightly more complicated. And you will be asked probably on your, especially on your phones, to give a yes to a next slide. And the question here is, what are you like when you are at your best teaching remotely? What might be one metaphor that would capture who, what, how you are? And perhaps add us also why this metaphor speaks to you right now. You know, it might be something like, when I'm at my best teaching or facilitating remotely, I'm like a juggler, juggling with multiple realities at the same time. So this would be my answer. And I'm super curious what will come up from you. When you are at your best, what are you like? You're very welcome also to add a few words like octopus. I think I'm getting it. It means, again, probably being in contact with so much around you, I'm guessing, you know, maybe potentially kids at home, kids on the screen, your own kid, in your inner kid in yourself who wants to be playful. And so actor, a star, a bee, a summer wind, energized, comedian, wanting to keep kids engaged, animator, rocket, giant, like a boss. I know, you know, I'm managing these young people, concentrated. I have a sense of being with my students. I'm like a stream that leads the students to an open ocean, happy like a pig, superwoman, butterfly, etc., etc., etc. Thank you.
A jumping monkey. There is a comment in Facebook.
Thank you. Again, we are already octopuses on several, having our tentacles in several spaces. Thank you so much for this. And things can still keep coming in as I transition to a next offering, again, to yourself. Some experience first before I will then debrief with some hopefully helping tools and models. And I will now shift from Mentimeter to a slide here. So like this, and go to the question that we have here. No, not like this. This is again now the moment to okay, like this one. And go. Yeah, okay. So there is a new task or a place where I need some help from you. Imagine that my work is 15 kilometers away from home. My car consumes 7 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers, and for financial and environmental reasons, I want to use less fuel on my way to and from work. And let's imagine that I need to show up right now for my work there for whatever reason. I cannot quite do it right now from home. So my question to you is, and in this case, I will ask for the answers to just be put in Facebook chat. You know, what would you suggest? What vehicle, you know, can I use instead? You know, vehicle is this complicating word for something usually on wheels in English. What are some suggestions? So just write them in your chat. What would you suggest me so that I would use less fuel? And I will ask Blanca again to help me read a few inputs from the chat.
People are liking and sending you hearts.
Okay, anyone can join in with the ideas. Also, you who are on the Zoom. So I have a car.
Bus and bike. Internet is one suggestion.
Bus.
Electric vehicle, on foot.
Yeah.
Public transportation.
Yeah. Excellent.
A van, roller skate.
Cool. A lot of people, a lot of ideas. Now we will transition to another question, very much related. It's the same issue. I'm live 15 kilometers from home, go to work, would love to use less fuel in the future, but the question is a little bit different. What possibilities are there to use less fuel? And again, welcome to think about it and then put in the chat possible answers. Any new offerings, Blanca?
Yes, waking, scooter, slow drive, cycle, ride a bike, work virtually, don't go by any vehicle, change work closer to home, home office, buy a smaller car, drive more slowly, an electrical bike, then bike, drive slowly, hitchhiking. Oh.
Thank you. What I'm hearing is, as this question is expanded, you know, what possibilities are there? Then people come up with ideas, change work, or, you know, car sharing, or, yeah, what else was there? Yeah, work remotely. Double think, can you work remotely? So this is, to me, a good example how a question already in some way predetermines the answer, or at least the scope of possible answers. And I'll give another examples. But before we go into that, it's always good to ask ourselves, you know, what are some assumptions that are hidden in the question that I'm asking? There was the assumption about the vehicle, which already, you know, suggests something on wheels, or broader assumption, what other possibilities? I change my workplace, for example. Okay, some more cases. about 100 years ago, people started using elevators because the buildings became taller, and of course they wanted to move from one floor higher up more quickly, and the elevators were a big novelty. With time, however, people realized, oh, these elevators are so slow, you know, oh, this really bothers us, and you know, how can we build faster elevators? And when the constructors heard this, it was quite a painful question. Oh my God, you know, it costs so much, it's so time consuming. But then a very smart person just shifted the question. What if the ride got more interesting? And the answer was the mirrors that we now find in the elevators. And everyone was instantly happy. The long ride wasn't a problem anymore, because everyone is so happy to just check their own face and impression in the mirror. Another example, very often we hear, how can we compete with the Chinese? And I, coming from a tiny country, Slovenia, with 2 million people, well, we very quickly started asking different questions. You know, okay, how can we collaborate with the Chinese? Now, how can we very often shift the assumption of competition with the assumption of collaboration? What becomes possible then? If we narrow this down to the schooling, learning, teaching context, you know, what are kids dropping out of high school, for example? I'm sure many of you have asked this question in either your professional or private settings. And can we expand this question to, okay, yeah, what might a school like, a learning environment that would be magnetically attractive for the kids of this age, in this time? And maybe it's very different from an answer even a year ago, let alone a generation or 100 years ago. So if I try and sum this up in some ways, the question landscape is, first of all, about the range and the focus. And you just want to be in this sweet spot that your question is not too broad, but maybe not too narrow, or at least that you know what serves your purpose. So yeah, you can ask, you know, what the Ministry of Education will do to get us out of this mess, you know, and you can wait there, as many in maybe my culture, which is a little bit more of a fate culture than active culture, would do. Or you could just ask, okay, what can I do? I or our school or our group of teachers, what shifts can we do to better serve the needs? You know, what's my sphere of influence? So just notice what you want to achieve. And sometimes, of course, large questions are super important too, because we need to question the systems and structures as well. You know what you want to achieve with the question. Then, of course, there are closed questions and open questions. Each category, again, serves as some purpose, you know. Can assessing be even fair in COVID time? How can it be reimagined given the new context? Very often we say when we want to expand the number of possibilities, we ask the broad questions, the questions that open possibilities. But then if we want to narrow down all these ideas to a few concrete ideas, then we go to more closed questions. So which one of these three has potentially the biggest impact with the least energy? Or, you know, are we meeting now next Wednesday at 10 o'clock? This is a super useful closed question. Just to know, is it like 1, 2, 3 options, or do we keep the sphere wide open? And then most importantly, is the question of, okay, you know, is it empowering? Does it create a source of energy within me? Because it starts working on me. It you know, something gets vitalized in me, get started? I cannot be at peace anymore. I want to answer this question. Or is it more drowning in energy? And here there is a model that you might have come across, created by Mary Lee Adams, who has an Inquiry Institute, as they would probably call it in the US. She's also an author of a book that is being translated in a number of languages. And her basic model is that there's a choice map. We can go on the downward spiral, the judger questions, which is very much about, okay, whose fault is it? You know, why am I such a failure in this COVID time? Why don't I get all that technology? Am I too old? Am I too strict, too serious, too narrow, too whatever? Is something wrong with them that they don't get it, that we should help each other more, or, you know, whatever? And these questions also have an effect on our inner energy as well as on our collective energy, how to access them. The invitation here is to just notice, how is the question impacting me and others? And do I want to keep going in this more judger mindset? Or is it now that, you know, we just cannot be so pessimistic anymore because we just don't have that luxury in these times to be pessimistic, and just consciously shift this map, a roadmap where we are, and go on the upward level and start asking questions that are more in the learner mindset. We don't have the questions yet, but we can be in this inquiry together. What assumptions am I making? What are the real facts? What are the interpretations? What can we learn from that together? What becomes possible given the new technology, the new challenges and maybe boundaries, but also possibilities that are here? So make this conscious shift here. And it's a choice. First, it's a layer of awareness, to be just aware what is happening first in my own mind, and then which track do I want to continue. And I also have the power to shift this when we have interactions with others, in meetings, in my one-on-one conversations, you know, at the coffee or virtual coffee that we have. One quote that I really enjoy so much is, you know, judgment and curiosity cannot really coexist. So it's really, what do I want to nurture? What do I want to feed? And also what is more effective in good ways for the future I want to achieve. So in that sense, questions indeed are potent doorways that open a wider sphere of possibility, or they can bring down my own spirits, everyone else's spirits as well. And with this, I will invite you to an individual exercise, something that is for your own learning journey now, and then later, if you want, you can share a bit of it with us or not. If not, it's really your own choice here. But just take a moment and write down for yourself, maybe on a piece of paper, or just in your own mind, or somewhere in your own computer space. You can also share it in the chat in Facebook, or keep it to yourself. But just write down a first question that comes up for you, that's relevant for you right now in this time, that's really present in your mind. Take a few moments. And then I will give you a few more helpers how the question might evolve, which will be kind of my last bigger portion of this presentation here. And then you'll see if it can be helpful for you to expand, evolve, upgrade your question.
While we are waiting for the answers, I was thinking about the learner and judger mindset, that I don't know how it's now, but at least when I was a student, actually we were trained to have a judger mindset. You know, and also for teachers, I believe, we are trained, you know, how to all the time, you know, how to, I don't know, what are the positive sides, what is going wrong, what is not good here, this is not good enough. So how can we, I think that it's really part of the system, and that we should make an effort not to accept this.
Yeah, thank you for saying this. Yeah, and you know, there's for sure a lot of value as well on being critical, and it's just good to know how one thing leads to another. And yeah, thank you also for this cultural awareness, Blanca, that of course impacts our mindset as well. So now I will invite you away from the question, just park it for a moment, the ones that you wrote for yourself. And you will go back to the Mentimeter slide, which can be again the same link as before. If you can put it into the chat again, Monica, and I will share now again the screen just to be reminded very quickly. It's going to be a different kind of question now, and the question is going now to be to rank a couple of questions just in terms of power that as you see them. And yeah, so now I am in this again in the Mentimeter, and I'm going to hopefully, yeah, we'll go for here you are. So click on yes on your Mentimeter link, and the question is now, rank your questions in terms of how powerful they are to you. The most powerful, number 1, goes to number 1. The least powerful is number 4, and we will see results as they're coming together. And Monica, if it's helpful, just put again the link of to the Mentimeter to the Facebook chat for those people who maybe joined later or are still in transitioning from one to the other. Yeah, now things are starting to come live. Your different views, and again, you know, to me, asking the question is more important than coming to a right answer. I don't think there is a right answer. We come with very different backgrounds and inquiries at this point of our lives. So we would just love to learn from the collective. How do we see these 4 questions in terms of power? What I'm seeing right now, things are coming out collectively. The one, do teachers have any future, or will kids learn mainly from video, is the one that seems to be least least inspiring. And the next one, yeah, what will school like post COVID times? And maybe the most, for you, the most alive one is, will school ever go back to normal? But things are shifting live. So let's take a few moments, and you're invited to also make sense individually as you're seeing how these ranks are coming up. How can we rethink the future of school now that we are on a collective reset? Yeah. The one with the question of future teachers is the most has the lowest ranking, and I'm really glad to see that, hoping that there will be ways to merge all these different technologies and acknowledging still the value of being with each other in learning environments. Thank you. We had already quite a few people who collected answers, and you're still invited to do so, but I will, in the meantime, now share a few more ideas here. Okay, so now think again of your question that you wrote down, and I will give you 4 quick ideas how you can now expand, upgrade potentially your question. One is really to expand it, make it broader in a way, you know. What if, you know, what if, yeah, the school environment could be a wonderful hybrid of this and that? How might we, how might I? These are some of the potential starting points. You know, how might we use equity as a lens as we rethink schools? How else might we measure progress? What's the gasp level action here? And more questions. So one is broadening, the other might be diving deeper. What's the point of school or of testing? You know, what holds me back? So broad or deeper. And then there are 2 more that I really love. One is just challenging the assumption. What assumptions might be limiting me here? How do I want to let go of them, expand the sphere of possibility? If I change my beliefs about this, what would be possible? Or sometimes just invite intuition in a similar way as I did at the start, you know, what powerful metaphor can capture this issue or an idea. Metaphors, in a way, you know, that they are like the atoms of our thinking. It's how our mind thinks first before it puts words. It can be super powerful. So with these 4 invitations, I'm now asking you to perhaps rethink your question and share it with us. I will invite you for the last time into the Mentimeter. So let me go back from this. This was an example, but I think you got it already. And given the time and the menu I would be interested now, not in perhaps in the first question, but in the evolved question. If now on the basis of everything said today, if you can just play and kind of expand or deepen your question. So again, for those who joined, just for the last time, Monica, if you can again put into the Facebook chat the link to the Mentimeter, or just screen the code that is here. And now again, a moment of breathing in, breathing out as I go back to the Mentimeter, which will be here, and go further, not this one, because we saw this one already. And I go here to the next one. So what is your evolved version of your question? And I quite trust that there are a lot of questions in the entire sphere that might be inspiring to other people as well. So just be generous and share the question that is animating your life. In this way, if it is shared in the Mentimeter, you know, it's very anonymous and we can all learn together and be inspired and expanded. Look forward to the first questions that might be coming up and we can all love them. Are there maybe, they're coming up. Why? The deeper question, why? And again, why can be inquisitive, why? Or it can be, why? Like investigative. So be gentle with the energy behind the why. How can I look at traditional things totally differently according to COVID? How can I help students and myself to survive these times, to even thrive these times in some small ways, or to find moments of thriving in this situation? What will the school be like? What could the school be? What might a new normal be? How are you? Yeah, that's very basic question. Just how are you doing now? That's so important. You as a teacher, as a co-teacher, as a parent, as a kid. Will future school embrace education in a holistic manner? How? What can we learn from this? How and when can we get back to normal and move away from this new normal? Or what might new normal also be? How can I adapt my work? When? When? Sometimes very simple, but still can be very mind-opening. How to solve a problem of fear. I'm translating now from Croatian. How can I address the problem of fear that the kids have, especially those who are finishing school? How can I able to reinvent myself to improve my productivity? What are the best teacher? We are the best teachers. I'm very happy because how can we learn from each other, etc. How can I make my student enthusiastic? How can I upgrade my life, etc., etc. Thank you very much for all these questions that are coming up. Still, as we are going, and I'm quite trusting that maybe Blanca, then just in a minute we will go if there's still any other question alive. For me here, yeah, how can I help maintain children's mental health? And yeah, I keep sharing this, that as I'm speaking, you can also see that. And my very final note here would be that questions, how do you know that a question is powerful? First of all, it makes you pause for a moment. You don't have a direct answer. It's like, oh, like you literally roll your eyes a little bit up, like with the metaphor question probably. Then it creates an unresolved tension. It challenges your assumptions and also creates new insights and deeper connections, and very often sparks more questions than answers. So with this is actually my last slide here to finish this off and give it over then to Blanca with a resume or summary of powerful questions that I'm sharing here. And you just, Blanca, I know in time we probably don't have much more room for this, but if
2 to 3 minutes
for a life or in a way that you want to close, I'm open to anything that serves here now.
Okay. So thank you very much. Actually, there is one, if you can show us this last slide once again, because I have a question about that. So, of course, yeah, powerful questions, they challenge assumptions, but sometimes I'm wondering, what about provocation? So how far you go, to provoke, to use provocation to actually challenge assumptions, but not to destroy the relationship or the communication that you have with your students, because that sometimes happens.
Yeah.
So how can a provocation actually serves us?
Yeah. So for me, the question, the quest underneath the question is, what's my purpose here and what's the context? So if my purpose is to expand, provoke, and again, provoke can be a bit edgy. And again, what do I want? Sometimes I want to be a little bit more edgy because I trust this group of students can take this. And I personally, I'm always more for the more maybe playful, creative ways of provoking, because they both open our minds and our hearts, and hopefully also our will to be opened by the question. It's all these 3 layers, So again, yeah, what's my purpose? And if my purpose is more to provoke in order to show them that I know better than they, then I would maybe a little bit take a deep breath and ask, well, what might serve even better? So yeah, the question underneath is, what's my purpose here? That's of course very broad, but like stay more in the playful and creative way, because we need more of that in this time right now, rather than provoking in the sense of, a screwdriver thingy, investigative, something in more of a police kind of quality.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for that. People are saying thank you, very good presentation, super, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the one comment is that your presentation is a presentation which makes you think a lot. So my conclusion is that actually your presentation made us think, and maybe we are thinking so intensively that we don't have any more questions. But yeah, thank you, Marjeta. It was really inspiring to listen to you, and it also gave me some additional questions to think about the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next, I invite Leena.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay, let's walk
Hi,
through
Leena.
Hi.
Yeah, directly. Leena is directly into the action.
Oh yes, I am.
So she's a French teacher from Finland. And in the presentation before, she said that her great passion is also educational technology. And she's really deep into that. And she likes to create new learning environment. Today, she will present us a best practice that is also viewed in the USA, right?
Yes, that's true. We just had a cooperation work with New York, Brooklyn North District 15 schools, and I have an example of that too. That was fantastic. Okay, so if I get my sharing things going here, let's hope for the best. There we go. Blanca in her previous Facebook post feared that talking about language learning with added reality might be complicated. I hope that with the 7 minutes time that I have, I can sort it out a little bit for you. So my name is Liimatainen. I teach at the English School in Helsinki, Finland, and I talk today about an augmented reality application, 3D Bear, that I find very engaging for students. Getting there and explaining what augmented reality is, let's have some of your comments in stances in Facebook. So adding there different emojis according to how you feel about augmented reality, if you've heard about it, if you'd like to use it, and others. So what is augmented reality? It is a concept where you combine real world objects, like the ones that you can touch here, with virtual objects, and you can sort of put them together. You may have came across those already if you've been trying to buy eyeglasses on internet. Sometimes they have applications where you can try them on your face, and they work to various degrees. But it's this combination that counts. Now, what would that mean for language learning? Obviously, you would hope that there are benefits, and benefits there are. So one of the biggest conditions for learning anyway is that the student is engaged. You need that student motivation in order to anything to happen. The process that you enter when you start creating things and scenes with augmented reality, with 3D Bear, they really support the students' inner motivation, their engagement, their wish to actually bring to the end the tasks that they have started. And it helps them to reflect what they are doing, because they see the process all the time, and they make those questions to themselves, and they sort of become very big owners of their learning. So we're talking about advocacy here, big time. This includes all the 4 future skills. Well, there are more, but the famous 4 C's of collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. And as a foreign language teacher, I must say that I also feel that this sort of creates a safe space for language learners, because the things are there, you're talking there, you're presenting there, but there is this distance between your task, between your work and what you're saying, that is created by the characters that you make there. Creation is said to be the highest form of learning. You have Bloom's taxonomy, for instance, where you have creation and analysis and evaluation at the top of the pyramid. And actually, when you work with this kind of work, you are handling those three all the time. It's about, what am I doing? Is this useful? How could I do this better? Is this good already? What do I want to add? And the kids are there hands-on all the time. If you think about kids who fidget in their classrooms all the time, who are very kinesthetic, that means that they want to do things with their hands. They find it super difficult to just sit down and fill in worksheets, or it doesn't work at all, and they end up sitting in detentions. This helps them a lot. And it's very useful to support their visual communication, as that takes more and more place in the society. My first example here will be about le goûter, so learning about, talking about snacks. Le goûter is a big thing in France. That's what you get after school. It's usually something sweet and good. So that's like a nice subject for the kids in itself. What we did, this was the 7th grade. This was the first time that they were using 3D Bear. It was a moment after that I had been using it for a while, but it went surprisingly smoothly. I asked them to download the application on their phones, because yes, we can allow them to use phones in classroom, or then with school tablets, so they could use either. And if they were working on remote, they could have done that easily at their homes, had they any sort of mobile device there. There are very good tutorial videos on that, so we checked it through together, and it worked really nicely to find the basic functions and get them going. What you do with it is that you direct your mobile device. So if you have your phone, you direct the phone's camera to where you want to create a scene, or where you want to have things added. And you put your phone there, and then you add their characters from the huge library that they have there. They have characters of animals and different festivities, dinosaurs, of course, Minecraft, and so all sorts of things that can be very interesting and inviting to kids as they are. You can manipulate your thing, and then at the end you will take a screenshot or a video of your work, so that you can then work with that. And yes, you can add voice over there, and you can even add there some text. Story templates are very useful when you write stories. You can see a bit more about them through the link that you have there. You also will have a link to the lesson plan that I used, and what you see here is what makes it so engaging, and what brings storytelling sort of instantly to this. Like here we have a picture of a student who added there her favorite snacks, well, hamburgers and cakes, of course, and coffee. And what do we see here? We have already a villain to the story. So you can, with the characters that they have there, they sort of just invite the kids to tell stories or show their teenage faves, like if they, whatever preferences they have, tacos and whatnot. And the plot thickens. There is probably the revenge of the pumpkin latte and quiche Lorraine on the table, I think. And if there is a crocodile, there will be action. Also, you will see the versatility of the student creation, so you can see their personalities somehow. I mean, obviously you see their personalities all the time, but like different ways of showing what they want to do and what they can create. Okay, here will be one quick video of a student work. Let's hope I get that working here. Marjeta, somebody please tell me if it's not working. I'll do my best.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Tu as faim? Oui, je voudrais une glace et un café. D'accord. Est-ce que je peux avoir une nuit? Bien sûr. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, so thank you, Elias. That was his addition to this. There, back to the slides, I hope. So the pedagogy behind that we have here is all about critical literacy skills, in the sense that you have sort of reality literacy. What is real? What is make-believe? This is something that we live in the era of fake news, and somehow when the kids do things themselves, so when you do it yourself, then you can sort of spot it on images and elsewhere, like what can you do to make reality look different. We had a wonderful cooperation with District 15 in Brooklyn North through the help of Consulate General of Finland and the Mayor of City of New York, and we were working together to see how to support New York teachers who are in, really because of the pandemic situation, they are in very tight spot, and we got to see some really fantastic teachers, educators that we got to work with and share ideas and create solutions for the situation where we all are to an extent or another. Open scenes means that you have a choice of dialogues, you pick one, and then you make different versions of that. And with Jessica Crescioni, who is the drama teacher in Primary School 94 in Brooklyn North, she's madly creative, super professional, and let's see a couple of options that she made. You have a link to her lesson plan. I warmly invite you to take a look at that because it's amazing. Let's see. So she picked the first option here, and we will see now two renditions of it.
You're late. I know. What's wrong? Can we do this? I think so. I sure hope so. Well, I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
So there, you can see it's being done in a house. You can see the radiator there. And whoops, we are on a graveyard. The Halloween is definitely approaching. Another option there.
I know. What's wrong? Can we do this? I think so. I sure hope so. Well, I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
There. So.
You're late.
That was enough. Good, thanks. So what we had there already, I just say that the collaboration is the best thing that you can do because you just get so much from it. I thank Jessica, I thank Blanca, I thank all teachers that are listening to this, all educators who might pick some ideas from here. If you have any questions, there are my contacts. If you got interested by this augmented reality tool, there you have a link to 3D Bear Jussi, who's happy to help. And there is an offer for a month of free trial, because you might like to try it first before taking it in front of students. but it's really quite thrilling. I love using it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this inspiring presentation. And yes, indeed, we have a question. The Vesna is interested in the age group. So when is the earliest age when you can introduce augmented reality?
Oh, this can be easily used. Well, I mean, you do have lesson plans for kids as young as 4 and 5 years old. If you go to their home pages of Pretty Bear, you have some ready-made lesson plans there. And from then, I would say that the best use will be in elementary school, and my 7th graders loved it. And at the same time, my 9th graders were slightly less thrilled, but they liked doing that too. Yes, they did. Let's say that my 9th graders didn't insist on working on the same thing on 3 lessons in a row, but my 7th graders would not stop if they had a choice.
So thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
You gave us the whole new space for different possibilities. And next, I'm inviting Heini. Heini, welcome on the stage. And our Heini she will present us teaching and learning for Agno languages with the help of Reactored-Language learning solution. And Heini teaches Swedish and Germany in a primary school and lower secondary school, and she has 18 years of experience in language teaching. And congratulations, Heini. She was awarded as the language teacher of the year in 2017 in Finland because of her pioneering work in the field of digital language learning and teaching. So I'm happy to listen to your presentation, Heini.
Thank you. Thank you. I will try to present with my mobile phone since my laptop is not working. So let's see if it's going to work. So let's see.
Yeah, we can see if it's work. Otherwise, also I can present.
Yeah, wait a minute. Can you see it now?
We see a black screen with Heini name.
Okay, let's try again. Yeah, well, this is interesting with a phone. I have done it. I haven't done it before.
There is your screen.
So can you now see my screen?
We see your screen, yes, but at the moment we see ourselves. Okay, there it is. There it is.
So now you see the presentation.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. So finally. So good afternoon, everyone. Before we start, I would like you to comment on Facebook, which languages do you teach? So I would like to know which languages do you teach? You come from all over the Europe. So please write down your languages which you teach.
So yes, they are not only language teachers, but all kinds of teachers. So maybe they can write what subject they teach.
Yeah, that's true. So, but I will begin. So I would like to share with you my experience in using Reactored. It is a solution for foreign language learning and teaching, which I myself have used for 3 years now with my pupils, and my pupils are 10 to 19 years old. I have used and tested over 100 digital solutions in my teaching over the years, and on the basis of that knowledge, I want to show you today this all-in-one solution, which is, in my opinion, exactly what we language teachers need. We want the digital technology to help us in our work, save us time, so that we can concentrate on the most important thing, teaching. So we wanted to offer us tools that enable learning in a pedagogically meaningful way. So for these reasons, I'm happy to be able to tell you about Reactored. I have prepared a few slides where you can see how Reactored looks like, and I'll tell you the key points that are important for me as a teacher when I use it as the main digital tool in my teaching. So Reactored is an all-in-one solution, which means that I and also my pupils, we find everything in one place. There is no need to jump between different solutions, and the data of pupils' progress is not scattered all over the internet. I have all my digital material in Reactored. I have shared it with my groups, and the material is divided into separate courses. Each course for a certain age level includes lessons to those topics that we go through during the school year. And in this slide, you can see an example of it on the big screen, that bigger laptop. On that screen, you can see one course and lessons that are for I think it is German and 8th grade. I think it's so small I can't see, but I think it's for the 8th graders. So each lesson includes different sections. It includes context, grammar, cultural information, and also, of course, exercises. And the best thing is that I can create the material on my own for the individual needs of my pupils, or I can use and edit material that other teachers have shared in Reactored. So I don't always have to reinvent the wheel every time. And learning a language, of course, includes many skills that have to be trained. In Reactored, pupils listen, speak, and write. In addition, there are pictures that help them to remember words, phrases, and sentences. Reactored has a built-in spell checker and a unique react to read method. So pupils have to react when they see their answer to turn from green to red. They know that they have to rethink. If they don't know the answer, they can use assistance tools to form the correct answer. So they make progress all the time, and they get individual support as if I would be standing beside each and every one all the time. So due to this feature, I have more time for those pupils that really need a lot of help. Others get my help from Reactored. In addition to material, Reactored also includes a formative assessment section. It offers a lot of data how my pupils in a certain group have practiced and how much they have learned, what they have learned. It is super easy to follow pupils' progress in a one single view and make interventions. In fact, problems with learning are revealed this way much quicker than normally, especially when I normally have quite big groups. So it's far more easier to notice which of my pupils have problems, and I notice it really quickly, since as you see in this view, there are white boxes or white holes whereas there's nothing have been done. So I know that when there are many holes in this view, the pupil has problems, hasn't done her or his homework, and I have to somehow intervene and make sure what is going wrong and why isn't he or she learning and so on. Well, in addition to material and this assessment section, Reactored also includes an amazing exam tool. It saves a huge amount of time. Let me tell you a concrete example. For a while ago, I was marking a traditional exam which my pupils had on paper. It was 5 pages long, and I had roughly 40 pupils. It took me 12 hours to mark them because I had so many sentences in that exam. But last week, I marked the same exam with another group, and there were roughly the same amount of pupils also in that group, and they had taken the exam in Reactored. And it took me only 1 hour, not 12 hours, to mark the test. And I was like, what? It's incredible how quickly you can mark the test, because this system, this Reactored exam tool, it learns how you correct or mark the exams. So in this slide, you can see on the left, there is the test, which the pupils are filling in. And then in the middle, in that big laptop, you can see the screen, how it looks like when I'm marking the test. So the reason why it gives me so much more free time, I don't have to sit all the evening by the papers. So it's just that you have to choose from certain points, and then you can see all the answers, all the answers that have something wrong, in some errors or mistakes there. You can see them on the right, and then you can decide which kind of what kind of points do you give that kind of answer. You can compare them, and once you make the decision that some sentence is going to get that kind of point, so all the answers that are similar, they will get the same point automatically. So there is a huge amount of automation behind this exam tool, and that's why it's incredible that you can instead of sitting 12 hours by the papers, you can do it in 1 hour, for example. And you can see on the left the test or exam that I have marked. There are of course many pages, but you can see 1 page, and there you can see that the solution has marked all those questions that have been correct from the beginning, and then there is this magnifying glass where is my marking that I have made the decision what the points are. So that's why I love Reactored. It saves a lot of time when I use this exam tool, for example. And finally, if we look at the benefits for the learner, so my pupils, you can see the pictures on the right. There are pictures from my classroom, my pupils. So they can choose themselves the way they want to practice. If they want to learn the topic by using digital exercises in Reactored or tactile exercises, you also see those in the picture. And then, of course, they also can choose that they use workbooks, do exercises in the workbook, or perhaps they do a combination. And when they practice with Reactored, they can use either mobile phones or tablet computers or laptops, and we use it at school, but they also use it at home. We have homework in Reactored, and they can practice also on their own. For me, Reactored was really an excellent help during the COVID-19 school closure in the spring. I could even monitor all pupils' progress in oral communication, since Reactored has a built-in chat with voice messages. So it's really a versatile and really an all-in-one solution which offers everything that I need, and that's why I wanted you to see what kind of solutions there are for language teachers and language learners. And maybe I could read for you this student feedback as a closure. So one of my students wrote down when I asked for some feedback, I like Reactored because it tells me immediately when I make a mistake. It helps me to form the correct answer, so I don't get stuck as I do when I try to do the exercises in the workbook. So for me, this is very important to realize that when I use Reactored, I can help my pupils even more than in my normal teaching when I try to be in front of the classroom and try to tell them things. They all learn at their own pace and at their own level, so they actually get more help when I use Reactored than I would use normal teaching, so that there wouldn't be any digital tools to help me. So I thank you for your interest, and finally there is also contact information. So there is actually this slide hasn't been changed. I'm sorry, there should be mine as well. I have to change it. So you can send us some email, and there will be on the Facebook page, there will be also my contact info, but Kari Savolainen is the CEO of Reactored, so you can contact him if you are interested in trying Reactored, and you can also contact me and ask questions that way. So thank you very much, and if there are any questions, so now you could ask me.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, you can now switch to your video.
Yeah, I try.
You are trying. Okay. It sounds very powerful software, and we have 2 questions for you. And Maria, Regina is asking whether this solution is adopted by all the teachers at your school.
Yeah, at my school, yes, but not in the whole of Finland, of course. Not yet. We try to do that, but many teachers already use Reactored in Finland, but also abroad. There are schools in Vietnam that use it, and also other parts of the world that have taken it as a part of their daily routine.
How about the subjects? So can this software be used in other subjects such as geography or history?
Not at the moment. It's only for foreign languages at the moment. There are 16 languages that you can study by Reactored.
Okay, so languages, right? All right.
And it can be used either monolingually or bilingually. So you can also study, like, for example, German, or English, or like I use it from Finnish to some other language like Swedish or German.
All right. So thank you very much also for this valuable contribution. And our next presentation will be done by Marika. Marika, welcome. She is eTwinning ambassador, and she will deepen our knowledge on how can we benefit from eTwinning and Erasmus Plus projects, because also
For some reason, I don't hear you anymore. Please tell me if you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, thank you, Leena, very much. I cannot hear anyone.
Okay.
Okay,
Hi.
I'm back.
So looks like Blanca has some problems with her connection. So
I am back now.
Okay, you're back. So you're next also to present.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Monica, very much. I think this is the problem of our century. This was the problem of 2020, the problem with the microphone and with the sound. It was inspiring to be here today with you because you made us reflect, you made us ask the good questions, you made us think of what is our role as teachers, and you inspired us with all the presentations you had before, because everybody is here, everybody who is watching the stream from Facebook is here to find out more about how we can teach, how we can make education better. It's a certitude that digital education is what we have to promote today. If we were ready for it or not, it's the reality we are living, and this is what I want to speak to you today. How did digital education help me and helped our students collaborate, not only during the pandemics, but before that on eTwinning, because my love is eTwinning. I'm an eTwinning ambassador and I'm proud of that. It's the first thing and the most important thing that defines me. And this is where I have learned so much. And because I have learned so much there, this is why I want to share with others, because I really truly believe that only as a community we can change something in education worldwide, because teachers have to become facilitators of students learning, and we have to find the reason to make the students want to grow, because the instruction now has to become student driven. I have discovered a few interdisciplinary approaches that I want to speak to you about, because the key is to develop competencies. So I started developing competencies where else? On eTwinning. I'm an eTwinner since 2009 and I'm so proud of it. And I want to tell you that this is a free, safe platform where teachers from all over Europe come and collaborate. And if you see here on the screen certificates, these are the European quality labels we received. I don't see certificates. I remember the students, each generation I was working with, and most of all, I remember the wonderful teachers that helped me grow professionally. So if you see quality labels, I remember AV, I remember Stavrula, I remember all the wonderful teachers that helped me at the beginning of my career, funded the projects with me, and really discovered the amazing apps we had in the projects. Of course, there were some rewards for our projects, and I'm proud for the Swallow is a Refugee or an Immigrant, which was rewarded with a national prize for inclusion in Romania. The project that I love and the one that I'm going to show you in the future minutes is Heritage Matters, the one that was awarded with the European prize, and the one that gave me great friends that are here with me today as well, and that helped me grow and become a better professional. Another project that we had this year, even during pandemics, which was proud of us United, was a project with Heidi from Germany, because everything we did, and you will see in a minute, the wonderful people whom I was collaborating in the first project are the ones who come with me in all the projects we have, because you cannot have eTwinning projects by yourself. You cannot become an eTwinning school by yourself. You have to have friends and people to grow with. So every project is another step, another amazing thing that is made together, because we didn't just meet online. We use every possibility to meet face to face as well. We speak about our project. We write about our project. We try to inspire others as well, because we learned together, we prepared the project together. This was a project about cultural heritage, and if you see here, everything from Google Docs, preparing the Kahoot with questions for students and made by students in collaboration, to aims of the project, to pages of the projects. You can see here a logo competition we had in the Heritage Matters project, and voting for it in dot storming. Of course, we had activities that were held in each school separately, but most of all we worked digitally online, and it was such a difference for my students. I come from a little town that doesn't have museums, that doesn't have cinematographs. So we tried to escape from there and use what the others had. Here is a Padlet. My students really love Padlet, and it was inspired by the diary of Anne Frank. If you will be curious about it, you can check the material going to be in the group and get inspired. Students were answering to the letters as they were keeping. This way, we visited the Canadian Museum for Human Rights from home using Skype. So collaboration through eTwinning goes beyond the little home you are living now. Collaboration through eTwinning helps you discover and build together with your peers and friends. Of course, we use TriCider. Of course, we use Google Forms to evaluate our project, because it was important to us for us to know how we stand. Of course, we work together in creating collaborative magazines. This is the one that I really appreciate, the Mad Max we had in the Heritage Matters project. And also, there were products that traveled through regular mail and made amazing posters in our schools, collaborative human rights panels in each of our schools. This is the project that helped us collaborate, that helped us really become more responsible, because it was about human rights, it was about learning, it was about discovering, it was about building real friendships and teams. And I told you that when the pandemics came, I didn't feel disappointed. I wasn't lost. I knew what to do. I just moved with my students in the virtual classroom and created there one for them and worked collaboratively for Romanian language and literature classes as well. Another project we had this year during pandemics was Proud of Us United, and students from elementary school worked together, collaborated together using Google Slides. It was a project Romania-Germany, and we were so proud of the result of their activities. You can see here a Ting link. I hope there is a link into the slides as well. If not, I will post it under the presentation. And I was telling you that eTwinning was the one that helped us find friends and become better as professionals. But we didn't remain eTwinners. We went a step on and founded an Erasmus project. The Erasmus project went on with a few of the partners we had in the Heritage Matters project. We are currently working on sustainable development goals with the same passion we did on eTwinning, and it wasn't a problem that we don't have mobilities anymore. We hope they will start again, because we work the same way as we did before in the eTwinning project. So we use digital, we use QR codes, we work collaboratively. Here you have an example of a story jumper, our Italian friend and coordinator of the Italian team came with the idea of making Corona comics, and the students collaborating in creating an amazing book for European Day of Languages. And also for Erasmus Days, we prepared collaborative videos. You can work from any part of Europe. You can work from home. You can collaborate. You just have to want and connect with your peers, with your friends. Another project we have this year, and it's another Erasmus project. It's EU tourism. This one is coordinated by Spain. You Heritage Matters is coordinated by Marisa from Portugal. Of course, we are speaking about tourism. Imagine that we started the project with one idea of what tourism was, and now we are rethinking everything. But not the answer is the one that matters. Marjeta was speaking about that, and really inspiring. The most important thing is to put the right questions to see what are we going to do after pandemics, because our projects are rolling and we are working and we are preparing activities as before, because I told you everything I know I have learned on eTwinning, and on eTwinning you collaborate. So Erasmus is a part, eTwinning is a part of Erasmus. If we collaborate on this amazing project on eTwinning, we can do that with Erasmus as well. So you can see here a few images from the last activities we had. The last one is a coding activity we had with the youth tourism team. We try to envision how will the world, how will Europe look in 2120, because for sure change is coming and we have to learn and accept that change and try to do the best we can. It's a certainty that the world is changing, that we have to be ready to embrace that change, that we have to be ready to empower our students, that we have to be ready to help our colleagues, that we have to be ready to give good vibes and good energy, because education is important and we have to be there to educate our students. Thank you very much. I didn't see the watch. I wasn't able to hear you. I just hope that I was inspiring enough. If there is someone who is not an eTwinner yet and has struggles with using the dealing with the projects now, eTwinning is an amazing platform that is safe, where you can have everything in well, everything, but not Reactored. You don't have Reactored. I was thinking that if we would have that tool as well, we wouldn't need anything else. But besides that, it's free, it's safe, it's coordinated by European Schoolnet. So feel free to enter and become a passionate eTwinner. Digital education happens through eTwinning, happens through Erasmus. These are very important projects and activities, and it's important now more than ever to stay connected with the rest of the world, because I feel like now it's school closure. Students feel and teachers need to be more connected with the others, to see that everybody struggles, to see that everybody is searching for solutions and nobody is complaining, because it's very important to move forward. Change is here. We just have to see how we manage to build a better world with the new reality we have.
Thank you very much for your inspiring presentation. Actually, I have a feeling that you already made a great conclusion of our conference, because that's exactly what we are doing. We all are deeply into COVID again, but I have this great feeling that in this conference that we are learning together, and I'm really grateful for this. We have a tradition now for several months, and in every conference I learn something new and you learn something new, and you contribute with all your heart. So thank you very much for that. And this was the 7th Pan-European Conference, and I have a great news for you. The 8th conference, Pan-European Conference, the call is already now, will be during the Global Education Week, and we will devote the whole conference to global education topic. So you all are really invited to apply as presenters, also as participants, but also as presented, with the global education topics such as, I don't know, climate change, democracy, civil rights, and other. And the conference will be on 19th of November. I know that some of you already applied. So thank you very much. I hope to see all of you there, and thank you very much for your patience and support. Bye.